da ist er. Oh mein Gott. Da ist er. So. Viel zu groß bin ich. Ich werde aber gleich kleiner. Hoffe ich, funktioniert. Dazu starten wir erstmal das Spiel. Und dann gucken wir mal, ob das gleich automatisch funktioniert oder ob wir da noch was machen müssen. Weil ich glaube, wir müssen noch was machen. Jetzt hört ihr wahrscheinlich was. Ah, was soll das denn? Jetzt geht's hier aber drunter und drüber. Warum hat der denn... Ah, okay, I see. So. Vampyr. Ja. So, das hatten wir beim letzten Mal relativ schnell übersprungen. Das gefällt mir gerade noch nicht so ganz mit der Webcam. Das muss ich gleich noch mal kurz einstellen. Ne, also bitte nicht auf das medizinische Wissen verlassen, was hier sozusagen dargestellt wird. Und keine Ratten sind zu Schaden gekommen. So, ich mach mal eben kurz zurück. Because of erstmal ein klein bisschen mehr hier hin. Und dann, wie gesagt, bin ich noch nicht so zufrieden mit der Webcam. Ha. Gefällt mir alles nicht so ganz. Da weiß ich aber auch nicht, woran das liegt hier. Vielleicht werden wir einfach kleiner. Vielleicht hilft das schon. Nee, diese Kantenglättung, ich verstehe das nicht. So. Also das war schon mal einfacher irgendwie. Und es sah auch schon mal besser aus, muss ich sagen. Merkwürdig. Vielleicht muss ich demnächst noch mal neue Kamera. So, wir waren zuletzt im Krankenhaus, haben uns da mit ganz vielen Leuten unterhalten. So. Und jetzt gehen wir einfach mal... Warte mal gucken, kann man irgendwas was schon machen können? Also wir haben hier dieses Serum. Was wir nämlich bei vielen noch nicht gemacht haben, wir haben da jetzt einfach nicht geguckt, hier bei der... Das war geschlossen.
I cannot enter.
Was ist denn? Was steht hier drauf? Dr. Tippett, Dr. Strickland, Dr. Aykroyd. Guck mal, ja. Ja, nochmal schöne Sachen bekommen. Ist gar nichts. Was wollte ich jetzt sagen? Genau, bei der einen Uschi, die ist... Nee, nicht hier, aber waren wir hier eigentlich schon drin? Hier ist nicht viel, ne? Kleines Fläschchen. Hier geht's raus. Einfach nur. Was? Kodein, hier ist noch was. Aber ein bisschen Zeug haben wir hier auch noch an. Hier geht's auch direkt raus. Boah, ich fände das jetzt richtig cool, wenn man hier noch irgendwie so eine Funktion hätte. Ich weiß nicht, ob es die gibt. Dass man dass man hier das Krankenhaus irgendwie noch upgraden kann, so. Wisst ihr, was ich meine? So mit, ne, du pumpst ein bisschen Geld hier rein oder findest dies und jenes und dann sieht das hier immer besser aus, das Krankenhaus. Vermute aber, das wird hier so nicht passieren. So, wir haben ja... Oh. Das Krankenhaus ist voll, geht nach Hause. So, wir haben auf jeden Fall hier schon mit einigen Leuten gesprochen.
Good evening, sir.
I don't know if a third opinion is needed.
I see.
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Er ist gesund, geht halt nur um...
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Uiuiui, Schicksale hier wieder, das ist ja wohl unfassbar.
Have you heard talk?
No.
So, das andere haben wir alles. Hier ist noch irgendwas, was wir nicht aufmachen können. Jetzt können wir mal eben gesund. So, hier ist noch ein Hinweis, den wir noch nicht rausgefunden haben.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I'm never gonna get anything from her.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
Wir haben noch gar nicht viel über den.
Have you heard?
No,
I have to go now.
I'm willing to give you the benefit of
don't
the
waste your
doubt.
time with me.
I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic.
Good evening, Doctor.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Goodbye, Dr. Str...
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
The pain. It's here again.
Das ist der Dings.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
Kann ich hier die nochmal an... Warum kann ich den jetzt nicht anquatschen? Wieso kann ich denn nicht mehr mit der guten Frau hier reden?
Someone's poached my blanket. Oh, the cold will be my death.
Oh Gott, oh Gott, oh Gott. Okay, machen wir mal zwischendurch, dass wir hier mit der...
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Doctor.
Ich glaube, da habe ich... Ah, dafür...
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Okay, die ist nicht so geil drauf. Wo ist denn die Oberschwester hier? Schwester Crane. Schwester Crane. Oh, das ist ein Mülleimer. Da guck. Ein Mülleimer, da gucken wir doch mal zweimal rein. Hospital ist full. Opium! Ja, jetzt kommen wir so langsam mal in die richtige Richtung hier. Ja, jetzt aber mal im Ernst. Glasviole, hier war auch irgendwo was. Oder habe ich mich jetzt nur verguckt? Hallo Leute.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fella.
So, das ist die... So, also ich kann auf jeden Fall jetzt schon so ein paar Dings herstellen. Hallo.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Okay. Wir machen erstmal hier.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Okay. Und dann...
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett's.
Ja,
Goodbye,
aber...
nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Trotzdem muss man ja über Fehler sprechen. Weil... Wer sagt denn, dass er nicht noch mehr Fehler machen wird? Und einfach hinterher mehr Leute tötet als rettet. Das ist, also da muss man schon so ein bisschen so dieses Gleichgewicht finden. Ah, jetzt ist sie da, okay. Bleibt schon sie wieder weg. So, Tippet, 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 Tippet. Wo bist denn du? Tippi, tippi, tippi.
Dodged death so many times. Oswald, you can't just die like this. What must I do? We're safe. What must I do? This isn't even my neighborhood.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals. Or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Okay, what was that about? Okay, wir gehen jetzt einfach mal hinterher.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
Oh, jetzt wird der bestimmt gerade gefressen von irgendjemandem.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Okay. Das heißt, da müssen wir auch nochmal irgendwie rum. Hier wollte ich hin, genau. Zweihand, Ach, Sprung habe ich ja jetzt auch. Ach, Moment. Auf der 3. Bande des Drachen. Da müsst ihr jetzt aber selber lesen. Wer da jetzt eh gerade keiner zuguckt, guckt es ja wahrscheinlich, höchstwahrscheinlich dann, wenn dann über VOD. Dann könnt ihr euch jetzt pausieren und dann durchlesen. Ja, ich lese das jetzt eben so durch, ohne vorzulesen. Und ciao. So. Geht's jetzt hier unten weiter? Es geht glaube ich, hier weiter tatsächlich. Dann würde ich erst noch mal eben kurz nach da hinten gehen. So, ist hier was? So, hier ist zumindest noch eine Oh, ist sogar Regenerationsserum.
Can't breathe! Can't breathe!
Warum?
I don't want to die here. I want to see the sky, feel the fresh air.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
All right, Mr. Thatcher, you're safe now. Do you think you can reach the street by yourself?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Juhu, wir haben jemanden gerettet. Wir sind nice. Das ist schon ziemlich nice. So, sonst ist hier aber auch nichts Besonderes. Mal kurz hier hoch. Hier kommen wir wieder raus. Aber wir wollen ja nicht raus. Oh, guck mal, Geld haben wir hier noch. Da geht's auch raus. Oh, da haben wir auch noch was. Können wir alles mitnehmen. Schmiermittel. So, jetzt aber mal, warum hat der denn jetzt gerade aktiv? Aha. So, warte mal. Aktiv 1 ist das. Aktiv 2 ist das. Aktiv 3 ist Springen und das ist Schattenschleier. Okay. So, das heißt... Ah, okay. Das hat also eine hohe Abklingzeit, wenn ich das richtig... Okay.
What sort of creature is this?
Hier kann man auch zu zweit spielen. Wow, wow. Können wir auch zu zweit spielen, das Spiel. Ah! Alter! Au. Wow. Oh. Ja. Schön nacheinander. So, langsam geht auch die Steuerung richtig klar. So, was ist das jetzt hier? So ein Vampir-Drachen-Werwolf. Vampir-Bären-Werwolf. I don't know. Das Spiel können wir auch zu zweit spielen. Huiuiuiui.
Here's what's left of him.
Sind sie krank? Mittellos? Wer sie auch sein und wo sie auch herkommen mögen, suchen sie Dorothea auf, um Hilfe zu bekommen. Keine Tricks, keine Kosten, keine Fragen. Suchen sie einfach Darius Petrescus Haus auf und zeigen sie diesen Gutschein vor. Und dann steht es da nochmal in irgendwie einer anderen Sprache. Wahrscheinlich Polnisch, würde ich sagen. I believe.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Ja, also es scheint hier irgendwie so eine Art Werwolf zu sein. Gehe ich jetzt mal stark von aus. Aber so langsam geht die Steuerung von der Hand. Man ist halt nur manchmal ein bisschen langsam. I give it zu. Manchmal bin ich ein bisschen too slow. Hey. I'm hungry. Get over here. Ungut zu wissen, dass wenn man beim Heilen quasi getroffen wird, dass die Heilung dann unterbrochen wird. Das ist natürlich auch interessant. So, Haben wir hier eigentlich überall? Ach ja, stimmt. Das war diese eine Tür, richtig, die ja gelockt ist. Achso, ha, guck mal, da hätten wir von der anderen Seite. Hätten wir das aufmachen können. Du kleiner Schelm. Ah ja. Ich habe schon voll viel Sachen gefunden, ey. Können wir mal gucken, ob wir unsere Waffen oder so aufleveln können. Opium. Ja, guck mal, voll viele Sachen hier. Welches ist denn jetzt unseres? Warte mal. Ah, ne, das ist auf einer anderen Seite irgendwo. Oder? Warte mal, ne, wenn wir hochgehen, links rum. Das heißt, eigentlich müsste das irgendwo da sein. Ist das? Das müsste unser Haus sein. Unser Zimmer. Ja, das ist unser Zimmer. Na, schauen wir doch mal. Können wir hier irgendwas verbessern? Was kann man denn hier? Können wir das verkaufen? Ah, das können wir wieder verwerten. Mach's wahrscheinlich eh falsch und nachher brauchen wir eh noch das woanders. So, abgenutzte Säge. So, gewöhnliche Machete. Stufe 2. Verursachter Schaden um 10 erhöhen oder Ausdauerverbrauch um 10 senken. Okay, wir müssen uns da entscheiden. Okay, okay, okay. Komm, wir machen mal den Schaden hoch. Wieso eigentlich? Ach so, wir können aber beides machen. Nice. Wenn wir die entsprechenden Sachen haben. So, abgenutzter Flock. Können wir den verlängern? Verbessern. Ah, wir können den auf... So, nice. Okay, alles klar. Cool. Waffe. Da fehlen uns noch Sachen für. Guter Revolver, hervorragender Revolver. Da können wir auch noch also geileren Scheiß kriegen. Okay. Okay. I see. Mhm. Zweihändig. Teile eines gewöhnlichen Griffs. Wir müssen also mehr, Dingens finden. Wie heißt es? Okay. So, what do we have then? Das haben wir. Erhöht deine Blutkapazität, erhöht deine Blutaufnahme, wenn bis im Kampf verwendet wird. Erhöht den verursachten Schaden. Erhöht die Regeneration deiner Lebenspunkte, wenn bis im Kampf verwendet wird. So, das ist doch mal eine Sache, da wollen wir auf jeden Fall hin. So, physische Stärke, Zustand des Körpers, Gesundheit 150 und Durchhaltevermögen, also quasi Ausdauer, erhöht deine Ausdauer. Blutspeer. Klauen können wir nicht erhöhen, das kostet extrem viel. Das heißt... Ne, komm, ich mache einmal Gesundheit hoch, nochmal. So, Stufe 10. Bestätigen. Die folgende Nacht. Jo, dann geht's mal los hier, ne? Wie jetzt kommt einer und sagt, hey, warum? Ich hab dich gar nicht zum Vordereingang reinkommen sehen. Ach, die Königin der Nacht. Das ist Strick. Nee, das ist der...
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Rick.
Okay. Persönliche Fragen.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Okay. Wir müssen also irgendwie hier mit dem... Mit dem müssen wir auf jeden Fall noch ein bisschen quatschen, weil der scheint mir, Sword Touch. Oh, den können wir vielleicht morgen behandeln.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Der hat auf jeden Fall Probleme mit uns. Das müssen wir irgendwie klären. So, wo ist denn der Tippet? Oder war es das jetzt schon mit, warte mal. Beziehungsweise stopp. Wie kann ich das denn jetzt hier auf verfolgen? So, das würde ich gerne verfolgen. Dann haben wir hier... Ich kann immer nur eins verfolgen. Okay.
We can handle this.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Meine Liebste, ich konnte ja nicht das Geld für die Gebühr auftreiben, die der Krankenwagenfahrer dafür verlangt, dich ins Krankenhaus zu bringen. Bitte macht dir keine Sorgen und ich werde einfach gesund. Ich habe mich um alles gekümmert. Ich habe einige unserer Nachbarn gefragt, ihnen zufolge ist dieser Mr. Hooks eine Art ehrlicher Gauner. Er mag zusätzliches Geld für ein Bett verlangen, aber das bekommt man dann auch. Bitte entschuldige, dass ich zunächst nicht zahlen wollte. Deine Genesung steht an erster Stelle, das ist mir nun bewusst. Offenbar genießt das Pembroke Hospital einen guten Ruf, trotz des schlechten Benehmens dieses Milton Hooks. Ich verspreche dir, dass nun alles in Ordnung kommt und ich komme dich schnellstmöglich an deinem sauberen Bett besuchen. In tiefster Liebe, Nikolae. Es ist verwerflich, den toten Sachen wegzunehmen. Ja, ich meine, sie werden es ja eh nicht mehr brauchen. So. Hier irgendwo...
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
It's locked, all right.
Aha, wieso komme ich denn da nicht rein?
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Oh, fuck it.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Okay. Wir wissen hier quasi noch gar nichts über den guten Mann.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man, but I like to think otherwise.
Das ist ein nicer Dude. Der war ja gesund.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course.
Okay, ja, der hat hier halt das Zeug. So, warte mal. Mal eben kurz gucken. Wahnhafte Patientin im Pembroke Hospital, die davon überzeugt ist, bereits tot. Ich kann es. Meint sie damit die Wache von Priven? Ich kann das Risiko nicht eingehen, dass diese Jäger im Krankenhaus Nachforschungen anstellen. Vielleicht sollte ich ihnen nachspionieren und Thelma Howcroft vor diesen Jägern beschützen. Okay. Warum? So. Das ist Whitechapel, aber warum? Kurz gucken. Ne, da geht's doch auch nach Whitechapel. Weil sie meinte doch, dass das irgendwo im Garten also ich weiß jetzt nicht in welchem Garten. Ich meine, sie meinte im Garten vom wie heißt es jetzt? Ja, in dem Garten hier. Von der Leichenhalle. From the morgue. Okay, nee, warte mal, aber das ist wieder das Zeichen, dass es irgendwo hier vorne ist. Warte mal. Das ist nicht mehr Pembroke Hospital. So. Ist wahrscheinlich auch außerhalb des Bezirks, oder? Oh, da kann man rein. Aha. Wie konnte man denn jetzt nochmal schleichen? Ich hab's schon wieder vergessen, ey. Gameplay. Tastensteuerung. Gehen. Q. Kann ich die nicht einfach belauschen? Hm. Vor 3 Tagen hat einer unserer neuen Rekruten ein Gerücht über eine Vampirin vernommen, die sich im Pembroke Hospital verstecken soll. Wir kennen nur ihren Vornamen, Thelma. Ihr habt die Aufgabe, euch unauffällig... Ah, okay. kleiner Beutel voller Ramsch. So, wo ist denn das? Das ist auch Richtung Whitechapel. Händler, Unterschlupf. Okay, dann gehen wir einfach mal Richtung Whitechapel und sprechen mit der Wache von Priven. Und da ist noch ein Mülleimer. Wir können doch nicht an einem Mülleimer vorbeigehen, einfach so. Was ist das denn? An die Bürger Londons. Ausgangssperre. Offizielle Gesundheitswarnung. Die Ausgangssperre wird um 21 Uhr durch das Läuten der Kirchenglocken verkündet. Allen Bürgern ist es verboten, bis 5 Uhr morgens auf der Straße zu gehen. Bis auf Weiteres gilt, eine Sperrstunde wurde für die ganze Stadt vor Ort nett. Alle müssen Masken tragen, um die Verbreitung der Infektion zu stoppen. Sollte eines der Mitglieder ihres Haushaltes erkranken, informieren Sie sofort die Behörden. Wegen der Ausgangssperre nicht nach 21 Uhr geöffnet. Okay. So, was ist hier los? Also es hört sich hier... Ein wilder Skull. Oh, Level 18. Ah, fuck. So, das Spiel können wir auch zu zweit spielen, mein Freund. Oh. Oder er tötet mich einfach. Fuck it, man. Okay, wilde Skulls auf Level 18 sind zu schwierig. Merken wir uns das. So, wir wollten in die Richtung. Status des Bezirks bedenklich. Also ich glaube trotzdem, dass wir den schaffen können. Why are you... Oh. You die already. Oh, Notiz der Wet Boot Boys. Ich glaube, ich habe in Whitechapel jemanden gefunden, den wir für die Boys gebrauchen können. Sein Name ist Albi. Er ist dumm wie Brot, aber zäh. Er sollte einige Medikamente für den Schwarzmarkt besorgen, um sich zu beweisen, und hat schnell und zufriedenstellend geliefert. Bei unserem nächsten Treffen werde ich ihm verkünden, dass er nun ein Wet Boot Boy ist und seine Befehle ab sofort von den Anführern erhält. So, was geht hier? Erstmal kleines Fläschchen. Dead inside. Wear a mask and save your life. Spanish Influencer. Okay, also hier geht's richtig... Hier geht's richtig ab. In dem... Rekrut von Priven. Okay. Okay.
Burn it, boys!
Wow, aua! Erstmal hier ein bisschen. Thank you for the drink. So. Dose. Sonst noch was irgendwo, was Nützliches? Blut auf jeden Fall. Ist das eine Katze oder ist das ein Kind, meine Herren? Wow. Hello, good sir. Unbekannt. We'll have a Achso, der. Okay, der speichert immer automatisch.
It's locked, all right.
Ah, brauche ich jetzt nicht.
Don't touch me with your disgusting hands!
Wow. Komm ich ja wieder da hoch.
Some damn strangers are attacking me!
Aua. Aua. Du Hempermann, du. So. Give me some of the blood you have.
Damn strangers are attacking me! Get away from me! Don't touch me with your
Please die already. So. Petitionsbrief. Mr. Bates muss aufhören. Seit Monaten, vielleicht schon sogar seit Jahren beutet uns Cadogan Bates aus. Mr. Bates muss aufhören. Wenn wir mehr Geld oder anständige Arbeit hätten, würden wir niemals in eine seiner halsabschneiderischen Wohnungen mieten. Mr. Bates muss aufhören. Wir wissen alle, welche abstoßende Lösung er den Frauen anbietet, die die wöchentliche Miete nicht bezahlen können. Mr. Bates muss aufhören. Stellen wir ihn gemeinsam bald zur Rede und fordern wir, dass er sich sofort etwas ändert. Oh, Mr. Bates ist also ein zuhaltender Kapitalist. Hallo, sind Sie vielleicht Mr. Bates? I got a feeling I have to talk to you. Good sir.
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages.
Oh. Oh, oh, oh. I think we found us einen Blutspender. Ha, ha, ha. Auf Wiedersehen, Mr. Bates. We'll see us again. Ich werde sie curen. Und dann werde ich sie holen. I guess.
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Oh. Heilmittel. Warte mal. Oh, hier ist auch noch was. Ist auch noch was. Nice. Geht's noch weiter hoch? Ach so, nee, das war die... Da ist aber auch noch was. Nice, nice, nice. Gut, dass ich nochmal hochgegangen bin. Ein bisschen Kohle braucht doch jeder Mann. Schalala. So, ansonsten ist hier aber alles weg. Ist das Haus dann quasi durch? Dann bin ich mit diesem Haus durch und gehe weiter zur Wache. Achso, ja, ich habe genug. Mega entspannt, auch wenn keiner zuschaut und im Chat was schreibt. Da muss man nicht ständig dahin gucken. Ich meine, ich habe jetzt zwar dieses Overlay, aber das ist, ich meine, beziehungsweise dieses Overlay ist natürlich schon sehr praktisch. So, warum? What is why? Albert Palmer? Okay, warte. Nee, ich wollte eigentlich... hier. Ups. Ah! Ich wollte das weiter verfolgen. Den örtlichen Befehlsstand von Priven. Okay. Ich muss noch da in die Richtung. So, killen die mich jetzt direkt, wenn die mich sehen? Oder wie sieht das aus? Hello? Wow, okay, alles klar. Ah. Oh, die Dings ist wieder zu. Scheiße. Aua. Nice of you that you,
Shoot it!
Oh.
All of your bloody leeches need killing. Steady, boys! We've got one of them! Just vanished!
hier irgendwo hoch. Hey! Hey! Whoop, whoop, whoop. So. Now, my friend, you are going to die. So. Nice. Hey, hättet ihr mich nicht angegriffen, ich hätte euch nicht angegriffen. Okay. So. Ich musste den natürlich töten. Ich konnte nicht einfach das nehmen. Sir, wir beobachten das Pembroke Hospital nun seit 2 Wochen und können Vampiraktivität dort bestätigen. Zunächst haben wir nur Beweise, dass sich eine Blutsaugerin im Krankenhaus aufhält. Das Monster ist schlau, sie verhält sich wie eine psychisch kranke Patientin, um ihren wahren, unheiligen Charakter oder Zustand zu verbergen. Ich schlich mich persönlich ins Krankenhaus und hörte die Kreatur jammern, dass sie Blut benötigte, weil ihr Körper verwese. Aber es ist noch schlimmer. Der Leiter des Pembroke Hospitals ist Dr. Swansea. Unsere Gruppenführerin Amanda Tilton, sie starb gestern bei einem Kampf mit einem Skull am Kanal. Zufolge könnte er Mitglied der Bruderschaft von St. Paulus Stola sein. Wenn das stimmt, könnte im Pembroke etwas Großes vor sich gehen. Vielleicht ist es gar ein Vampyrnest, geschützt von diesem verwirrten Stola-Verräter. Wir wissen nicht, was wir tun sollen, sind aber überzeugt, dass sie besser schnell mit Verstärkung und schweren Geschützen herkommen sollten. Okay. Die große Jagd, Teil unseren gefallenen Kameraden. Wer das als VOD schaut, macht jetzt Pause. Und jetzt geht's weiter. So. So, Brügge, Thelmer, Croft. So, jetzt bin ich ja quasi schon in Whitechapel. Dann kann ich noch eben schnell weitergehen zum Ursprung der Erpressung. Oh. He left something on the ground. So, let's see. Oh, here's something. Something else. Das ist aber auch, weil die ganze Zeit Englisch sprechen. Da fange ich natürlich auch irgendwann an, Englisch zu sprechen. Oh nein. Okay. Ah nee, das war gar nicht. Das muss ich auf jeden Fall noch erhöhen, weil ich ja jetzt auch mehr Leben habe, dass ich auch mehr geheilt werde. Okay, jetzt hier wieder raus. Aber hört ihr das auch? Das klingt doch nach einem Baby. Hier war ich drin, ne? Das war das... Das war von Bates. Ja, das war das Haus. So. Nehmen wir nochmal schnell einen Weingummi. Ah. Ich muss tatsächlich sagen, hier diese Weingummis von einer Firma aus Deutschland, die hier entdecke Deutschlands Weinregionen. Dieses Weingummi schmeckt einfach nur ganz standardmäßig nach Gummi. Das schmeckt gar nichts nach Wein. Im Gegensatz zu diesen englischen meistens, ne? Die sind ja... Rekrut vom Prison. Alter! So, da muss ich mal eben kurz hier hoch. So. Entschuldigen Sie bitte, ich bräuchte mal kurz Ihr Blut. If you okay with it. Because I am okay with it. Nein! Wieso? Wieso habe ich denn jetzt diese scheiß Dingens? Ich will das nicht. Wow. Ich muss tatsächlich sagen, dieses, warum kann ich... Entschuldigen Sie bitte, ich bräuchte mal kurz Ihr Blut. Ich hoffe, das ist okay für Sie. Oh, das ist noch eine Mülltonne. So, jetzt muss mir mal einer erklären, warum kann ich denn nicht da hoch teleportieren im Kampf? Das wäre extrem nützlich. Extrem nützlich, Leute. Oh. Ich höre schon wieder das Baby. Where is it? Where is the baby? Oh, it's an Underschlupf. Das mache ich jetzt kirre, dieses Baby-Gedingse, ne? Können wir hier noch irgendwas machen gerade? Also ich habe auf jeden Fall schon gesehen, einer hatte Erkältung. Das machen wir auf jeden Fall weg. So. Wiederverwerten. Kann ich alles? Kann ich nicht alles auf einmal wiederverwerten? Was soll denn das? Ist aber auch ein cooler Beat. Ich bin dumm. So. Können wir unser Messer nochmal... Yes, we can. Our machete. And what about him? It's it. Stufe erhöhen. Der Priven... Ach nee, das Moment, das ist der gewöhnliche Priven-Flock. Ist der besser? Oh, der Priven-Flock... Der braucht weniger Ausdauer. Das ist doch mal ein Ding. Guck mal. Da können wir doch mal mit arbeiten. Jetzt macht er noch weniger. Nice. Würde ich sagen, ne? Das ist doch mal ein schönes Ding. So, was mit die Pistole? Da fehlt noch der Abzug. Da kann man noch gar nichts machen. Da fehlt schon wieder, oder immer noch der Griff, oder ich habe das schon wieder gerade irgendwie weggemacht. So. Don't say. This is the other side of the... It is the other side. Naja, egal. Oh, sorry. I don't want to make things kaputt. Oh, hier ist noch Müll. Müll. I meant Müll. Oh, cool. Was gibt's denn hier? Da haben sie aber, guck mal, da haben sie aber auch keine Mühe gegeben. Ja gut, ist jetzt auch nicht so wichtig, ne? Aber... Oh, hier liegt noch was. Nice, nehmen wir mit. Geld kann man immer mal gebrauchen. Müll. König und Vater, da brauchen sie. Join the King. Guard the freedom of us all. Join the Royal Fleet today. Achso, das ist Velmar. Ah ja, so jetzt kommt hier so eine Straße. Ich hoffe, hier ist nicht ein boshafter Skull. Ein boshafter Skull, der welche Skull. du was? Hast du was? Du hast nichts. Da kommt hier mal so eine Ratte mit auf den Weg. Kann man ja mal rauchen. Kammerjäger. Bestimmt so und so viele Ratten getötet. Oh, Influencer.
There's more and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye. The guards recruit more and more every year.
Okay. Brandscharfrichter von Privet. Okay.
2 days ago, this is my first patrol.
Eieieiei. Wo muss ich denn hin? Ich muss eigentlich darüber und dann links. Mal gucken, ob das so funktioniert.
It's locked, all right.
Oh, fuck it. Aber eben. Eigentlich genau in die Richtung. Ich will eigentlich nicht. Sorrigen Sie, haben Sie vielleicht etwas links für mich? Etwas live for me? Okay. Hey! Oh. Let's see. Habe ich auch schlecht gezielt. Aua, wieso kannst du denn? Sorry. Hey! Hui. So, ich muss in die Richtung. Oh, was haben wir denn hier?
I cannot enter.
The door is locked. Okay. Hier kann ich auch nicht hin.
It's locked.
Okay, da wird es in die Richtung gehen, aber... We have to go in this direction. Natürlich, man kann, solange Leute hier vorstehen, kann man die Tür nicht aufmachen.
This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
This Petrescu fellow. Okay, oh, da ist ein Unterschlupf. Mhm. Gleich hier vorne rechts und so.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert! Stop it!
Oh.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Oh, hallo. Sorry, ich habe nicht gesehen, wann hast du geschrieben? Was gerade erst? Ich hoffe. Ich habe jetzt schon eine ganze Zeit nicht rüber geguckt.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Boah, weißt du was, ey? Dann verreck doch einfach hier, ey. Ist mir auch egal.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of a street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Mm-hmm. It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
So, Migräne hat der gute Mann.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Me?
Okay.
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse
Der
than a
hat
week-old lavvy.
also Migräne. So, jetzt gucken wir nochmal eben. Hier vorne war irgendwo ein Unterschlupf. Wo ist denn der Unterschlupf? Nee, da ist er nicht. Hä? Ja, doch hier. Die Richtung und dann... Okay. Okay. Wo könnte der Unterschlupf denn sein? Da liegen sie überall. Die Maskenleute. Dead Inside. Ist das... ist das ein Unterschlupf? Ist das kein Unterschlupf? Oder ist das einfach nur ein Häusle? Nein. Was ist das für ein Haus denn jetzt hier? Ist auf jeden Fall sehr gehaust, hat man hier in dem Haus. Oh, hello? Sir, good sir. Oh, ein Ring. Was haben wir hier? Zeug. So, ich sehe hier noch... Oh. Was ist denn hier los? Hier. Ah, Unterschlupf. Okay, alles klar, hier ist der Unterschlupf. Ist aber nett. Hier noch Feuer angelassen. Na, voll die nice Dudes. Haben wir nichts verbraucht. So, aber... Der gute Mann, der braucht eine Migräne-Medizin. Was haben wir denn hier? Erkältung, Bronchitis, Lungenentzündung, Blutvergiftung, Blutarmut. Wir haben noch nichts gegen Migräne gefunden. Das ist aber schlecht. Ha. So. Down, 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 down. Punkte haben wir auch noch nicht genug, dass es sich lohnt jetzt. Wir wollen ja in die andere Richtung. Wir wollen ja hier hin. Wieder richtig hinsetzen hier. Ah! So. Links mal wieder ein bisschen runter. Was sind wir denn hier? Hier ist jetzt aber nicht zufällig. Bekannt. Da ist jemand. Hey, Mr. Red.
I have this thirst for blood.
Alles.
This is despicable.
Hello, good Mr. Red, sir. Jetzt laufen wir hinten raus.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Pattersons Haus. Boah, jetzt, wer ist denn jetzt Patterson? Ist das der... Ne, Palmer ist es nicht. Benjamin Palmer. Ah, okay. Cadigan Bates, my friend. Nee, ist das hier der... Der Dingens-Typ. Oswald Thatcher, Thomas Elwood.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
This place is awful, I agree. But does that not mean your situation can only improve?
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Vollkommen nachvollziehbare Fragen. Okay.
Goodbye, young man.
Ach nee, Quatsch. Hallelujah.
May I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
So, Erschöpfung. Der Gute leidet an Erschöpfung. Das heißt, ich werde dem auf jeden Fall mal einen Drink besorgen. Wo ist denn jetzt hier? Da, Harry Patterson. Verlust der Blutqualität. Harry wollte von Anfang an nicht nach Whitechapel. Harry ist in einer jämmerlichen Verfassung und häufig krank.
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Do you mind if I take all your belongings? I think it doesn't worry you. Ich geh mal nur kurz hier rüber und nehme diese Sachen mit, die dir gehören. Du hast nichts dagegen, oder? Also da gibt es jetzt keine... Der ist ja mega depressiv, hör mal. Who's he denn? Durchsagebrief. Sehr geehrter Mr. Patterson, es ist leider meine Pflicht, Sie darüber in Kenntnis zu setzen, dass wir Ihre Bewerbung für die Stelle in der Werft ablehnen müssen. Ich danke Ihnen dafür, dass Sie uns im Gespräch die Schwierigkeit Ihrer Lage mit Ihrem kranken Sohn und Ihrer verstorbenen Gattin erläutert haben. Es ist jedoch ein ausdrücklicher Teil unserer Firmenpolitik, keine ehemaligen Verbrecher oder Häftlinge anzustellen. Ihre unseligen Verbindungen zu den berüchtigten Wet Boot Boys wurden ordnungsgemäß berücksichtigt. Dies sind schwere Zeiten, Sir, und Finch und Harper berücksichtigt zuerst jene Bewerber, die unseren flüchtigen Nachforschungen über unsere zukünftigen Mitarbeiter genügen. Sie haben ein tief empfundenes Mitgefühl, möge Gott Ihnen und Ihrer Familie gnädig sein. Hochachtungsvoll, R.D. Harper. Ah, warte mal. Professioneller Vampyrjäger. Da. Vampires are real. Wenn Sie vermuten, dass jemand ein Vampir ist, versuchen Sie nicht, ihn zu töten. Sie haben keine Chance. Melden Sie sich lieber bei mir oder informieren Sie einen professionellen Vampirjäger. Diese Männer und Frauen sind selten, aber sie wissen, wie man mit diesem bösartigen Wesen umgeht. Es scheint auch so, als würden einige von ihnen unter dem Namen Wache von Priven zusammenarbeiten. Ja. Diese paramilitärische Organisation hat sich der Ausmerzung aller Vampire in London verschrieben. Sie sind Ihre Freunde, Sie sind nicht allein. Es gibt Lösungen. Seien Sie schlau, verbreiten Sie die Kunde. Clarence Crossley. Melden Sie sich für weitere Informationen direkt bei mir. Clarence! Maybe I would give you an appointment. Lass mal die Clarence besuchen, wenn möglich. So, du hast also Erschöpfung. Keine Sorge, Boy. Ich werde dir deine Erschöpfung ich werde dich entschöpfen. Boah, das hasse ich ja, ey. Dann hast du wieder diese Ladezeiten zwischen, Alter. Wie kann es denn sein, dass andere Spiele das schaffen, riesige 3D gezimmerte Welten zu schaffen? Und hier musst du für ein Haus laden. Für ein Haus. So. Behandlung gegen Erschöpfung. Mein Junge. Wir sind sofort da. Wir helfen dir, so schnell es geht. We are almost there, my friend. My friend. Chaka-laka-laka-laka. Hello, Mr. Crunker boy.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Oh, meine Fresse.
So, may I...
I'm not bothered.
Kann ich den... Hello.
Goodbye, young man.
What the fuck?
I'm not bothered.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities. But I'm not sure.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Okay. Kann ich dich nicht einfach irgendwie... Wie kann ich dich jetzt hier... Joe Patterson, das ist your father, I guess. Kann ich dich jetzt hier nicht irgendwie... Huh.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of you.
Is there only pain and suffering in...
Das gibt's doch nicht. Wie kriege ich das denn jetzt hin, dass ich hier den Typen heilen kann?
this world?
Eigentlich müsste das doch... Ich habe doch die... ich weiß, was er hat.
So,
I'm not bothered.
Oder muss ich erst den hier irgendwie den Fall klären, damit ich dem das geben kann?
Goodbye, young man.
Goodbye.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Okay, one way or another. Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake. I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett. Welcome, sir. Pleased.
I am Dr. Reed. I would...
Doctor? Interesting.
Have you heard of a nurse?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really...
Yes, she's a nurse. And quite...
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she...
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical...
Ah, ja und?
How is business?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
So, warte mal. Der ist gesund. Louis. Okay. Okay. Das hat
right then.
Ach, der hat halt so Kram. Von allem was hat er. Das ist ja... Nice. Teil eines Abzugs. Teil eines Griffs. So. Hello, sir? Are you a priest?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fibre.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Meine Herren, ey. Boah, das ist so cringig, diese Leute. Warum waren die Leute damals so? Was soll das? Warum waren die so?
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Ja, manche Leute... Ups.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
What do you mean?
All science.
Quite a... I am. But the answers I seek are based on... I have heard enough.
Wait a second.
Good evening.
It's far.
Der ist gesund. Das, also nicht geistig. Okay. Wir haben schon Mr. Bates. Who will die? Mr. Bates hatte die Erkältung. Benjamin Palmer und Albert Palmer. Albert Palmer hat auch Erschöpfung.
I have heard enough.
Soon the time will come when you will all be judged for your sins. Even now, he judges your words.
So. Well, we'll have a look. Ist die Kirche.
The disease upon us is not an accident of nature.
Let your guard down, sir.
Who are you then? Ah, you are the palmer.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else. Whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Okay. Where is he?
Nobody at home.
How is it possible? He was there!
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. By the church they just mentioned.
Oh, hello. Good woman.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
I'd like to see what...
Wait a second.
Good evening.
I'd like to see what...
Kann ich das verkaufen? Die wollen, ja, stimmt, die wollen
Good
Kohle
evening.
dafür, du bist aber ein bisschen...
Goodbye, Miss Swan.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
Mal gucken, wo hier der... Wo bin ich denn reingekommen? Oh, warte mal. Eine Leiche. Wo war denn der Dude? Der Dude. Das ist noch hier vorne. Irgendwo hier muss es doch gewesen sein. Oh, am I wrong? Bin ich hier reingekommen? Ich glaube, hier war der Whitechapel Street. Bedenklich. So, warte. Ah, ne, warte. Ich bin hier. Und dann da hinten hoch. So, hier. Kann ich dich denn daher...
I'm not your
Goodbye, young man.
Ah,
How are
I'm not your...
What happened?
Hey!
It's true.
I said...
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Good evening, Ben.
I'm afraid...
A gun, alcohol, and a...
Another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Hier vorne war ich noch nicht. Ist hier irgendwas Interessantes? Brauche ich gerade nicht. Oh. Some poor bastard in the streets. Das ist locked. Sonst ist hier unten zumindest nichts Relevantes, oder? Is there something relevant? I don't think that here something is relevant done here. Das Baby schon wieder. Huh? Ah, okay. Das ist, ach so, das ist der... Das ist der Hinterhof von dem Petrescu. Da geht's noch eine Straße weiter. Was ist denn hier noch? Achso, das ist mit dem, ne, ab 21 Uhr ist alles zu. Got it, I got it. Also grundsätzlich bin ich ja der Meinung, die Dorothy Crane ist eigentlich eine gute.
No place for you, sir. Are you bloody stupid?
Okay, sorry, I'm going.
Send you back in the fucking grave!
I'm already away, sir. Don't want to bother you. So, was haben wir denn hier? Eine Mülltonne. Oh, hello, good sir. So please stop it. Interessantes. Wow. Wow. Okay, der ist nicht ganz so krass wie der andere. Geht ab hier. Okay. Hey, du kleiner... Das gibst du mir schön wieder. So nämlich. Wo? Who are you then? Schütze von Priven. Große Bestie. Das ist da drin. Okay. So. Ja, eigentlich könnte ich... Gibt's noch was? Hier irgendwo vorbei, whatever. Mal kurz gucken. Ich muss eigentlich... Ach so, das ist ja dann schon die Ecke. Da kommt man dann wieder zurück. Okay.
This one's mine! You leeches!
Hab mich jetzt... Ah! Warum kann ich denn nicht... Are you dead now? Thank you. Thank you kindly. Hallo, good sir. Ach, ist das hier so ein Secret Layer? Or not? Was ist das? Oh, eine Axt. Abgenutztes Beil. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Kann man noch weiter hoch? Nee. Hier gibt es sonst nichts mehr. Das war es, good sir. Ah, jetzt bin ich da. Oh. Da ist noch was. Oh.
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost. There's a letter inside.
What letter? Show me the letter, please. So, es gibt Barrett, es gibt keine leichte Art, das zu sagen, darum sage ich es einfach frei heraus. Wir können so nicht weitermachen, zumindest ich kann es nicht. Wenn Joe jemals herausfindet, dass wir, seine Frau und sein bester Freund, es würde ihn zerstören. Und dann würde er dich töten. Wir hatten schöne Zeiten zusammen, doch wir müssen das einsehen. Ich werde niemals deine Jane Lewis werden. Du weißt es und ich weiß es, also beende ich es hier und jetzt. Wenn du meine Entscheidung respektierst, werden wir, Joe, du und ich, sicherlich auch irgendwann wieder glücklich sein. Und der wichtigste Teil unserer Geschichte wird immer ein Geheimnis bleiben. Bis zu diesem Tage hoffe ich, dass du mir vergeben kannst. Lebe wohl, Jane Patterson. Okay.
A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife, addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
Oh, das ist jetzt hart. Okay. Auch wenn ich das kacke finde. Ich werde es wahrscheinlich doch zu Herrn Lewis geben. Aus einem ganz einfachen Grund. Damit der arme Joe nicht irgendwelche dummen Sachen macht.
We even used to be neighbors, for Christ's sake. I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett. Fancy buying something?
You never lose your... I found this box in an abandoned building nearby. I believe it belongs to you.
Let's have a look. Yeah, this is mine. So, you faced those loons that roam around there. Extraordinary.
I suppose I was lucky.
Luck is a commodity round here. Yours should be properly rewarded.
About this package, it's not just tools and trinkets, is it?
I want to be rude or anything after your kind gesture, but it's none of your business.
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer. Good one, even. But after his wife passed away, He found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the wet boot boy.
Barrett, you had an affair with Joe's wife, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. She's the only woman I loved. My first regret is that she stayed with Joe after Harry was born. The second is I never shed a tear when she died.
Did you ever try talking to Joe?
Never. But I suspected he knew everything, even without knowing it. And he decided to make me pay in his own way.
Do you mean you're Harry's father?
No one will ever know for sure. And it's better that way. And I don't believe I'd have been all that bad as a dad.
Right then.
Ach ja. Traurige Sache, das Ganze.
You again?
Goodbye, Mr.
Ich würde den Jungen gerne behandeln. Hallo. Lieber Junge.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Ja, also das ist ja so ein...
Sure. Is there only
so
pain and
canvas
suffering in this world?
So,
I'm not bothered.
Do you remember when Barrett Lewis was close to your family? To your mother? How was he towards you?
He was nice, I guess. He never forgot my birthday. He always offered me books. I liked books.
Why are you sad then?
Because it hurts to remember a time when my father used to laugh and smile. It hurts to realize he's as sad as me now.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Das macht dann ja wahnsinnig.
Fancy Bob.
You never lose.
Okay, die persönlichen Sachen hier bei dem kann ich
Goodbye for now.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a
Joe,
look. Don't be
where are
afraid.
you? Are you this, Joe? No, you're not Joe.
wars of men should not be your main
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Whitechapel war auch der Ort, wo Jack the Ripper quasi die ganze Zeit gehaust hat. Aber ich glaube, das war ein paar Jahre vorher. Ich glaube, es war noch 1800 irgendwas.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
It's confidential. Speaking as a doctor, I'm sure you understand.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Okay, Mr. Darby. Kann ich in die Kirche gehen? Ich höre hier doch irgendwo... Da ist seine Frau.
I'm cheap and I'm clean, I promise.
Okay, hello.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Erschöpfung.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
I understand.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Goodbye, Miss.
Oh, ich will da nur gute Dinge tun. Warum lasst ihr mich nicht gute Dinge tun, Leute? Warum kann ich euch nicht zum Beispiel einfach Geld geben? Und dann ist alles wieder gut. Hä? Warum? Was ist euer Problem? Warum kann ich denn hier oben hin? What is it good for? Absolutely. War da eine Tür? Ah, ne. Nee, oder? Nee. Oder kann ich dann da runter? Das ist die Frage. Nee, kann ich nicht. Okay. What is it good for? And who are you? Blumenstrauß. Ein kleiner Blumenstrauß, ein Gutschein für eine kostenlose medizinische Untersuchung und ist zwischen den Gutscheinen. Ah, okay. Wait, Camellia. You're the blind woman.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. Goodbye then.
War die nicht auch? Your army needs you. Join at once, today. warte mal, wo geht's denn hier rum? Ach, da geht's in einen anderen Bezirk. Da möchte ich aber gerade nicht hin. Ich möchte nämlich in der Mülltonne wühlen. Das ist mein Ding. Okay. Why am I not allowed in there? What is your problem, sirs? Dear sirs and madams? Quarantine Influencer. Betreten Sie diesen Bereich nicht! Oh, warte. Mülltonne! Oh. Da ist ein Brief in der Mülltonne. Darius Petrescus Brief. Meine lieben Kinder. Warte. Meine lieben Kinder. Es tut mir so leid, dass einige Monate lang nichts von mir gehört habt. Die Lage in London war schwierig. Ich weiß, es klingt vielleicht egoistisch und töricht, wenn ihr meine Kinder noch in meinem Land lebt, das von Krieg heimgesucht wird. Aber auch hier in England tobt ein Krieg. Ein Krieg gegen Armut und Ungerechtigkeit. Diesen Krieg will ich trotz meines fortgeschrittenen Alters führen. Und deshalb schreibe ich euch heute. Ich werde nicht nach Rumänien zurückkehren. Das bedeutet, ich sehe euch wahrscheinlich nicht wieder, bevor ich sterbe. Seid nicht traurig, meine Lieben. Ihr seid mittlerweile erwachsen und habt selbst Kinder. Ihr wisst, welche Opfer wir manchmal bringen müssen, um diese Welt zu einer besseren Ort zu machen. Und dieses muss ich auch nun bringen, damit ich nicht noch ein letztes Mal nützlich fühlen kann. Und ich wünsche euch ein langes und glückliches Leben. Gebt meinen Enkeln einen Kuss von mir und vergesst nicht, dass euer Vater euch weit ab der kalten Heimat liebt. Dann euer euch ewig lebender Vater, Darius Petrescu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Ah! Aber wieso war der im Mülleimer? Er wollte es eigentlich wegschmeißen, hat es dann aber doch nicht getan. Ha. Okay, alles gut, alles gut. Good Sir. Nur über die Kirche. Ah, jetzt schon jemand die Mülltonnen durchsucht. Was soll das denn? Wow. Hey, du Penner. So nämlich, jetzt mal Ruhe hier. Jetzt ist mal langsam Ruhe hier. Was soll das? Hier kommen wir gar nicht durch. Ist das echt so? Oh ne, da hinten. Das ist wahrscheinlich noch so eine versteckte Ecke. Ein Zigarettenetui haben Sie, guter Herr. Eine Patrone. Sonst noch jemand irgendwas fallen lassen? Ja. Groceries. Warte. Ich habe das Gefühl, dass ich vollkommen falsch bin. Aber das ist kein Problem. Was haben wir hier noch? War ich eine Kiste? Ist was in der Kiste? Nein, in der Kiste ist nichts.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you, for a start, my dear Doctor.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Er ist ein merkwürdiger Mann.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
I hate to break it to you, but...
Did you know the Mute Florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious Camellia.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
Ist doch schön.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Okay.
I'll leave you. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Some of us come to this world already touched by grace. Morbidity can breathe its own grace. Whitechapel is not just disease, desertion, and despair.
Irgendwas hier noch in der Ecke? Nein. Da kann nichts sein. Hat denn die Camille noch was zu sagen?
Hello again.
Zu sagen.
Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
I know you want... Very well.
Achso, das war diese Ecke, wo ich nicht reinkam.
I'm cheap and I'm clean, I promise.
I guess so. So. Ich wollte auch nochmal sprechen.
You again?
Goodbye, Mr. Peter.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
So. Ich glaube, der war hier, genau.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though. If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must...
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Tell me everything.
I do not believe in the afterlife.
Was hatte ich doch gerade?
Tell me.
I do not.
Merkwürdig.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
Ich weiß nicht, ob man das hört. Draußen vor dem Fenster streiten sich gerade ein paar Leute. Kurz noch weg. Oh, das war schon wieder.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not a country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr.
So. Sie haben doch nichts dagegen, wenn ich hier einfach mal so ein bisschen durch ihre Sachen durchgehe und mal so gucke, was sie so haben. Das ist ihnen bestimmt recht, ne? Also da haben sie so an sich bestimmt keine Probleme mit. Was? Sammelobjekt. Die vorzeitliche Figur des Vrykogalas. Okay. Also. Wenn ihr das lesen wollt, dann drückt ihr jetzt auf Pause. Und jetzt habt ihr den ersten Teil gelesen und jetzt machen wir den zweiten Teil. Ihr drückt jetzt auf Pause. Und das war's. Wupp, 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 wupp. Schwubbeli-wuppdi-dupp-dupp.
It's locked, all right.
Oh. It's locked, all right. So. Guck mal, das ist hier. So, Tor wurde aufgeschlossen. Wir machen hier einfach mal alles auf. Alles machen wir ja auf. Wo kommen wir denn da hin, wenn hier einer einfach alles zumacht? So, sorry. Schwester Crane. Where is she? Upstairs. Ich sag mal so, das brauchen sie bestimmt nicht mehr, die Sachen, ne? Brauchen sie alles nicht.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
Ich bin doch kein Arzt. Warum sagt mir denn hier? Warum muss ich das hier entscheiden? Der Mann stirbt. Verdammt nochmal. Is he dead?
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could? Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
It's locked.
Lively! It's on to us! Die, Bernie! Burn it, boys! Come back, you! Shit! Filthy fucking beast!
what the fuck?
Bloody monster! Take it!
So, das heißt also, was ich jetzt gemacht habe, war schlecht. Meine liebe Dorothea, wenn du diesen Brief liest, werde ich schon auf einem Schiff sein, das Anton und mich zurück nach Brasov bringt. England war nichts für mich und ich muss gestehen, dass ich kaum erwarten kann, die stolzen Hügel Transsilvaniens wiederzusehen. Sobald wir zurück sind, verspreche ich, eine Kerze für dich in der schwarzen Kirche anzuzünden und zu beten, dass du diese schreckliche Epidemie überlebst. Ich weiß, dass du diese Entscheidung ablehnst und dich lieber nützlich machst, indem du diese verbannten Genossen im East End hilfst, doch Anton kann nicht erwarten, in unser geliebtes Land heimzukehren und die lang ersehnte Revolution erblühen zu sehen. Er ist mein Gatte und ich bleibe an seiner Seite. Ich weiß, wir hatten unsere Streit und Zankereien. Ich weiß, du hättest mich gerne mit mir zusammen deine Klinik betrieben. Nun, da ich England verlasse, sei versichert, dass dir etwas passieren sollte. Wenn du in Gefahr oder Schwierigkeiten gerätst, werde ich jederzeit mit dir oder ohne Anton zurück nach London kommen. Bitte denke von mir so, wie ich es von dir denke. Ich bleibe deine dich liebende Schwester Theodora. So, So, jetzt bin ich mir nicht ganz sicher. Also ich dachte eigentlich... Also...
It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right.
Eigentlich hatte ich gedacht, ich würde da einfach quasi verhindern, oder der einfach befehlen, alles über Lady Ashbury zu vergessen. It's not that easy. Jede Handlung hat ihre Konsequenzen. Ich hasse es. Ich will, dass gute Dinge passieren. Warum kann ich nicht den Spinnen folgen?
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
So, ich muss zurück nach... Upsa. Western Docks. Ah. Okay. Schnellreisen geht, glaube ich, nicht. Ich muss jetzt quasi hier einfach nur geradeaus laufen. Ich muss dieser Straße folgen.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Das war, glaube ich, auch ein Unterschlupf. So, kann ich hier noch irgendwas mit meinem... Das habe ich schon komplett ausgebaut. Ach, man kann noch mehr. Ah. Nice. Weiter geht nicht. Okay. Aluminiumfragmente brauche ich. Okay. So, ich kann jetzt zumindest mal eben kurz... So, mit 2000 Punkten, was machen wir denn da? Ja, das auf jeden Fall. 1300. 2000 brauchen wir dafür. Wut, so. Kessel, Abgrund. Du erzeugst einen Schattenwirbel an den Füßen deines Ziels. Die lebendig werdenden Schatten unterbrechen die Aktion deines Feindes im Bereich und fügen ihm enormen Schaden zu. Du konzentrierst deine Kraft, um das Blut deines Ziels zum Kochen zu bringen, bis es durch dich explodiert, um dem Ziel und anderen Zielen mehr Schaden zu verursachen. Für kurze Zeit das Biest in dir. Das Biest springt rasend schnell zu allen Gegnern in der Nähe und greift sie wuchtig an. Ich bin eigentlich sehr für das hier, aber das ist, kann ich wahrscheinlich noch gar nicht... Doch, das ist 1000. Dann haben wir jetzt auch noch so ein... So ein Thingedy-Thing. Vermisstenfälle in Whitechapel. Immer mehr mysteriöse Vermisstenfälle in den letzten Wochen. Mittlerweile ist es so schlimm, dass Zeugen Schlange stehen müssen, um bei der Polizei ihre Aussage machen zu können. Auch wenn dieses Phänomen im ganzen Land aufzutreten scheint, konzentrieren sich die Aussagen der letzten 24 Stunden auf eine einzige Gegend im ganzen Land. Whitechapel in London. Ja, ein weiteres Mal überlasst man das verschmähte und verabscheute East End mit seinen zahlreichen Problemen mit sich selbst. Aber trotz dieser erneuten beleidigenden Achselzuckungen der Behörden haben zahlreiche Familien aus diesem Bezirk beim nächsten Polizeirevier das unerklärliche Verschwinden eines Verwandten oder Nachbarn gemeldet. Was ist mit all diesen vermissten Personen geschehen? Wo sind sie? Die einzige Verbindung zwischen ihnen scheint darin zu bestehen, dass sie krank waren und umgehend medizinischer Behandlung bedurften. Bis vor kurzem war es vor Ort ein gut gehütetes und nur von wenigen gelüftetes Geheimnis, dass solche Hilfe nur in einer von unbekannten guten Samaritern geführten geheimen Apotheke zu bekommen war. Doch diese scheint geschlossen zu sein und niemand weiß, was aus ihr wird. Haben sich die Verwundeten an einem Ort begeben, der noch schwerer aufzufinden ist, wurden sie ohne großes Aufsehen in eine offizielle Institution verlegt. Schon bald wird die Londoner Gesundheitsbehörde zu diesem neuen Mysterium Stellung nehmen müssen. Ja, fuck. Vermisst. Ja, was habe ich denn gemacht? Scheiße. Kann ich das rückgängig nicht machen? Fuck, ey. Ich wollte eigentlich nur, dass die Dingens nicht mehr belästigt. Wie schwierig kann das sein? So, warte mal. Wo ist denn hier Herr Bates? Ja, ich komme doch sofort. Einen Moment. Okay, jetzt kommt man nicht mehr hier durch. Hä? Jetzt muss man wieder hinten rum.
Kill it, boy!
Okay, ich wollte eigentlich jetzt nur noch mal kurz zum Krankenhaus zurück. Ich gucke noch mal kurz hier. Waren hier nicht hier so Dinges gerade? Ja. Hey! Du Penner! Der hat da schon wieder angesprungen, der Kleine. So, jetzt nehme ich Ruhe hier. So, wir haben schon 9:30. Wir reden jetzt noch mal kurz mit der Thelma Hockcroft und der Lady Ashbury und schon können wir quasi los. Machen wir und dann machen wir Schluss machen. Und dann machen wir Schluss für heute.
The daily routine.
Where is she? Ach da. My lady.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind. Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
I'll leave you.
So.
I met him in New York.
Ah, was ist denn jetzt die... Okay,
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
What prevails in the end, I wonder? The desire for blood, or to be of service to man?
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire is a Scar?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake?
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely, it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as...
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to click. Ja, damit habe ich, glaube ich, alles gefragt.
I bid you farewell. For now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
So, an dieser Stelle. Erstmal, ich finde diesen Mantel eigentlich sehr geil. Ich hätte den gerne. Auch wenn er jetzt so im Regen halt nicht sehr viel bringt. Ja. Ich würde sagen, wir sehen uns am Sonntagmittag eventuell nochmal. Mal schauen, ob ich dann Bock habe. Ich bin mir noch nicht hundertprozentig sicher. Ja. Mir bleibt eigentlich nichts anderes zu sagen, als schönen Abend noch. Viel Spaß bei allem und immer dran denken. Seid freundlich, auch als Vampir, und rettet die Welt. Ciao.